All right, all right. Hello, purpose-driven entrepreneurs. Welcome back to another amazing virtual summit. We have an amazing summit in store for you today, and I can't believe that we have so many amazing experts and speakers in our room today, and you will get amazing wisdom. I'm telling you, with the wisdom you will walk away with today, will be something that I am sure you will appreciate. So definitely let us know in the comments as you are also joining us live here today. And I want to say hi to all the other amazing audiences that we're accessing from other speakers. So today we're going to be talking about how to level up, power up you and your business to the next level and leave a legacy. I'm all about legacy. I know when I started my entrepreneurship journey, I wanted to make an impact. I wanted to utilize my work, and live my purpose and really leave a legacy for the generations behind, and also to make a positive difference in the world. So today's summit, like I said, is going to be all about that. Each of the amazing speakers will get about 10 minutes, and they're going to teach you. They're going to pretty much give you their wisdom, so to speak. I love that you are able to access that so easy today, and you'll be able to build meaningful relationships with all the amazing speakers outside the summit as well. I always say that the business that we are in, a lot of us are service providers here. We're in the business of people. So it's very important to really nurture our relationships, right? To make that impact, to serve one another, and to collaborate, because that is really what the name of the game is. So before I bring on my first speaker on stage, I'm going to give you a little introduction of me, because not only I'm streaming live in my audience, but also the other amazing speakers' audiences. So I'm Alona Lipari, high-level business strategist, consultant, speaker, best-selling author. I have to read it because it keeps adding on, and it's not about the achievement, it's really about the impact for me. So I am a best-selling author. I host a show and summits. I love creating stages for people to speak and share their message with the world. An organizer to an audience of over 30,000 heart-driven, heart-led entrepreneurs. Prior Fortune 500 CEO dropout turned purpose-driven entrepreneur, featured in Disrupt, New York Weekly, and other publications. And what I do is, again, I help hard-driven, service-based entrepreneurs maximize their branding, marketing, sales, systems, and teams so they can build legacy wealth through B2C and B2B client opportunities and positively impact their communities worldwide. I love the work I do, and that is why I create spaces such as the summit to bring in amazing legacy speakers that really do just that. Through the work that they're doing, they're also creating amazing and positive influence in their communities and beyond. So I want to go to my first speaker right away, Alessia Wilson. Alessia, thank you so much for joining us today. I would love to have you share a little bit about you. So let's take about 10 minutes, give you the stage shortly, who you are, and also the topic that you want to share with us today, and also a call to action. Where is it that people can continue the conversation with you?
Yes, hello, beautiful ladies. Very happy to share my experience because I feel like I've been through it all. And I am in a health niche. I'm a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner, nutritionist. I am energy healer, and I have like all kind of degrees from Russia in psychology. And it's all because I was trying to find my way when I was, I think, 32, 31. I was diagnosed with infertility. They told me I'm never going to have kids. So my health journey started. Now I have two beautiful kids. I tried every protocol from functional medicine to like ancient Russian herbs and Western and Eastern, all of these Ayurveda, all of the practices and cleanses, you name it, I tried it. And in the process, I decided, hey, this is working for me. I love what I'm doing. Let me share it with people. And this is how my journey started. And I think in the first year, I went from 0 to 100K, and it was like very inspiring. And then through my business transformation, I had two kids when they told me I had infertility. So everything is possible. And in my health and business, I tried it all. And a little bit in the middle, I remember how I lost, like I was teaching everybody, right, how to keep their health, how to be healthy, how to fix their hormones, the gut health, the liver health. I created the Tree of Life. This is my program. It's all about health, all of the things from different modalities. I realized that you can't build your business as a woman while you're breaking your body, because I've been there. I were forgetting my kids sometimes. I were forgetting my own health while I was teaching other people. And I realized through how the business, your body, your mind works, if we invest first in ourselves and build this business kind of like the woman way, the easy, the fun, that's something that works for you, that's something that you love. It's absolutely, it's like the God says, babe, everything for you, here you go. There were times where I was building through leaving my kids, like giving up my responsibility as a mom, like somebody take care of them. I'm building the business here. I was losing my own health and everything was just falling apart. And the thing is, I've tried it all, like Facebook. I had the clients that coming out of nowhere, paying me like 20K. I had month where I was like doing everything, you name it. I paid coaches. I invested so much money into building, doing, trying like small packages, big packages. Nothing works, like zero, nothing. And I started like putting together the things, and I realized when I was betraying myself, my health, my kids, my family, in the name of business, and I was like thinking just about the money, just about how the man building their business, like do this, go through it, like try hard. That's when like the whole universe was saying, "Ah, babe, you're doing it wrong." And then I would do the practices. That's why I went to like psychology, I went to energy, I went to health, and it built me who I am. And I realized the journey, when you enjoy your journey, when you don't just want to arrive into like 100K, best health, like everything is there already, but you enjoy the journey, that's when everything coming to you. And I created these programs, like right now we have, 7 day, 1 day quantum leap program where with my ninja Russian energy healers, we just show the woman the way how it can be done our way, in our own terms. And the thing is, what I realized, and really this is true, you can build the business on your own terms. You can build your body on your own terms. They taught us how to don't listen to intuition, don't wear this dress, you need to wear this dress. Your mom wants you to do the ballet, but you want to do the art. She says this is better for you. They teach us how don't do the stuff we want, but all the answers are right here. So we can take all of the information and we can build our own way. And in all my progresses and programs and everything I do, I show people how to build their own way. Don't just take it and do what worked for other people, because what worked, like I had this feeling inside of me, why everybody's sometimes like so successful, everything worked for them right away and doesn't work for me. We all probably think that. Well, it's just because our soul wants us to build our own way. And when you start believing yourself more than other people, and I invested in a lot of people, that's when you have the success. And it's fun journey to combine everything, to try everything, and then you create your own. Then you can share that when um, you know what you can do. It's absolutely fascinating. And how many of you just thought that? Why is it working for them? And I feel like whatever I'm trying, whatever I'm doing, not working for me. It is. It is. You just have to believe yourself. And it's so much fun to try different ways. If something you feel like not working for you, you can always switch to another way. And before I was trying so much, I spent so much money on Facebook, and then I switched and I said, you know what? I make my own rules. I want YouTube bring me clients. And all of a sudden I switched to YouTube, and all of a sudden people start finding me on YouTube. Then I wanted to become a speaker, and all of a sudden, I put my attention there, and it's so many ways to make money. We just don't need to stay in this box. Like this is how I want it. Sometimes we just stay in the moment, here and now, and say, what do I want to do right now? How can I enjoy my body better, my nutrition better, my whatever, parasite protocol better? About parasite, I do find that when you invest in your body, when you start with your body, it's like your whole world. It's your first real estate. When you remove bacteria, parasites, and yeast, all of a sudden your brain becoming like this ideas producing super machine, because the yeast, they affect our neurotransmitters, that affect our brain, that affect our leadership skills through neurotransmitters, serotonin, melatonin, serotonin, dopamine, and other neurotransmitters. They affect our energy, they affect our mood. And yeah, so this is my biggest advice. Start with your body, start with building your way.
Alessia, I love that. Carve your own path. I can so relate to so many things you said, and I'm sure a lot of the people watching us and all the other amazing speakers about, the way we're taught, do, right? To the cost of our health, and our health is our wealth. So understanding how to lean in our feminine, especially us all being women, our nurturing side, the gifts that come naturally to us, we absolutely can build a business that way and show the world that
Yeah.
using our gifts and our intuitive abilities, we can absolutely do it as well, and kind of, be disruptors from what we've seen in prior
Your
generations.
life is your rules.
Your life, your
Absolutely.
rules. That's it. Exactly. So you get to design a life on purpose. That is the beauty of, which is why I love entrepreneurship, because it's that path where you can carve that. And I love that you said, wherever you find, you find it the most, that it speaks to you to build your community, whether it's your YouTube, whether it's your Facebook. I mean, there's so many ways to build community,
Mhm.
right? So
Mhm.
looking at and all these channels that are given to us, maybe just like even this one, that speaks to us, to find our ideal person that we want to serve and help, that's like a laser focus that we need to always
Yeah.
keep in mind. Service, because we do that as women so naturally. It's just like
Yeah.
our nature.
And you really, I built my Instagram to like 100K, right? But then when it was smaller, it was bringing me more clients. Then like something happened to Instagram. I'm like, shit, I hate Instagram now. And I moved to YouTube, and it was like very first, very young channel. It was like, I don't know, 30 people. And I said, my life, my rules. It's gonna bring me money, and it brought me the clients, without being 100K and stuff like that. Because I got tired of Instagram, I created different rule. And for that, I had to, like, I went through my systems myself. I cleaned my energy, my mind, and my body from parasites. Other people can be parasites. The yeast can be parasites in your body. Other, like, scarcity they bring to us through news, through people, through family. Sometimes they can be parasites. And you have to stand up for yourself. You have to stand up for your body. You have to stand up for your mind. And you have to stand up for yourself. So as soon as you combine all three and you remove, all of a sudden your body knows what to do. You give it minerals, here you go. All the hormonal problems go away, all the weight goes away. Your mind, as soon as you say no to parasites, they're sucking your energy, all of a sudden your mind knows what to do. As soon as, like, your soul, you're like, hey, hold on.
Absolutely, Alessia. Quality over quantity, especially with social media. Sometimes we get so hung over on the numbers and the followers. For me, it's the same way. I built my business very successfully with 100 loyal fans and clients that I serve at the highest level.
Yeah.
And it's not about, the vanity metrics. I love that. Alessia, where is it that people can continue the journey with you? Is it your YouTube channel then? Is there where you are focused?
Sure. It's my website. My first name is a little complicated. It's Russian. It's Olesya Wilson. The last name, I took my husband's name, so it's simple now. It used to be complicated too. AlisaWilson.com, my website, and Alisa Wilson is my YouTube channel. Can find me. I also love talking to people. Everything that I offer there, the free, paid, whatever, it's there.
Absolutely. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for everything you shared. And again, you don't have to worry about all the links. We'll have all the links in our Facebook group, Life School Alona Lipari, because all these amazing speakers are part of our community. So Don't worry about the links. You just kind of voice for people that would just hear this as video format. Just voice where is it that people can continue the journey with you. And as speakers, I know very well that it's about serving the audience, right? So I think the best way is to just lead people to where is it that you can serve them at a higher level, whether it's your content on Instagram, your content on your YouTube channel, your website, wherever it is. I think it's always a great way to open up the conversation with people that are just going to feel inspired and, are going to resonate with your message and your story. So that's what it's always about. I can't speak today. I'm really excited to keep listening to all the other amazing speakers. Yeah. Alessia, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Awesome. Now I'm going to my next speaker, Penny Chiasson. Penny is a new connection to me, so I can't wait to introduce her to you, but also have her share her moment, her wisdom with us today. Penny, welcome to the summit, and you have the stage.
Great. Thank you for having me here. I'm happy to be here. And what I really want to talk about today is how we can end up bringing things that we don't intend into our business, such as bringing in things like busyness or a need for approval, operating our business from a position of seeking external validation. Now, how did I get here? I was a healthcare provider for 25 years. 10 years ago, I became trained in hypnosis. And from a healthcare perspective, I had an experience that allowed me to just realize the potency and the power of our mind to create our reality, to create what it is that we want in life. And a series of events unfolded over a few years where in 2018, I got involved in my own personal development after I had a conflict in values, which is what I really want to talk about. And in that journey, I also learned the importance of identity. So over time, I have woven together the constructs of the subconscious, the way our subconscious functions, the way it creates our reality, and the context of our identity. And for the last 3.5 years, I've worked almost exclusively with clients working on their personal growth and evolution, mostly entrepreneurs, but some who are not. So what happened in 2017 was that I was in a toxic healthcare environment. At the time, I did not have a hypnosis practice because I had moved, but there was this burning feeling in my soul that I had to get out of healthcare. My personal values were no longer aligned with the way that I was allowed to practice in the healthcare setting. And it actually ended up leading to an emotional crisis for me. And through resolving that emotional aspect, I actually reached out to my mentor who trained me to be an advanced hypnotist, who trained me to be a hypnosis instructor. And I did sessions with them. And after 3 sessions of about 2 hours each, I literally did a 180. And because of this emotional crisis, I had short-term been on anti-anxiety medicine. I had short-term been on antidepressant medicine. And I experienced such a radical shift emotionally and in the way that I thought and interpreted life around me that I literally had to beg my nurse practitioner, like, it's okay, I can wean off of these. So she agreed and weaned off. And I've not needed those things since. But how does that tie into being in business? We bring our values into our business. And this applies to you whether you're new in business or you're thriving in business and you have a large business. When we have these values, we have stories around those values. It's the things that we were taught from our parents, our religious leaders, mentors, teachers. So not only do we have the value, some of those values may not be ours. We may have been taught that we need to value something that's not actually serving us. So we may have been taught to value something that's not serving us. It's not even our value, or we may have a belief around a value. And I want to share the value that I feel in my experience in working with clients, that is our biggest stumbling block as entrepreneurs. We became entrepreneurs to some extent so that we would have freedom, whether it's time freedom or financial freedom. We have this vision of living a life that is supportive, a life that is impactful, and we want to enjoy that life. Now, values are a part of our identity. This value of freedom with newer entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs who are navigating scaling from low six figures to multi six figures, I find that freedom can really get in the way, because a lot of times in our mind, the story that we have around freedom means that our schedule can be whatever we want it to be. We can do whatever we want when we want. And what we end up doing is we end up prioritizing fun things over those small few things that are so essential to get done in business. And what we don't realize is when we have just a little bit of structure, right? If we have just a little bit of structure, we can be highly effective without overworking, without overcommitting, without burning out, when we focus on the right things. And that little bit of structure that allows us to have consistency from day to day is actually the framework and the foundation for us to build a business that gives us a lot of freedom, right? And it's something that I experienced myself. I believe in manifestation. You can probably look behind me and tell that, yeah, I have a little bit of woo in me, and there's nothing wrong with that. But what gets left out is that we have to be consistent in that action and take that action and go that fine line between taking action and not getting into overdoing. We don't want to overcommit, overwhelm, and overdo. Now, as we move along that entrepreneur path, we can reach a point where we've actually created a good deal of freedom, right? We have a team, we have a lifestyle that's given us some freedom, and then we have this moment where we say, you know what, there is more here. I have the potential to do so much more. And then we can find we have resistance come up because we realize that for the short term, we might have to commit a little bit more. And what can happen is the memories, the imprints, the emotions from the experience of initially building a business, because we all know that when you first get started, until you're at the capacity where you can hire a team and you can offload things, we have to wear many hats. And that past experience can once again influence that value of freedom. And we can find that we are resisting making the decision and committing to what it's going to take in the short term to move up to that next level and to build out our team and do the things that we need to do to expand our business and to expand that reach. But when we do the identity work, when we look at our values, when we evaluate the stories and the beliefs we have around those values, we can look at our life and we will see those values reflected in our life, because subconsciously we make our decisions from our top 3 to 5 values. The Max Planck Institute did a study over in Europe, and what they did was they scanned people and gave them a set of 2 choices. They had a clicker and they would show them 2 images and they could pick A or B, right? What they found was that the subconscious mind decided about 7 seconds before they made a conscious decision to make a choice. So that means our subconscious mind is evaluating what we're experiencing. It's comparing it to our past experiences and incorporating our values and our sense of safety and security and all of these things. It influences our decisions. So if you're seeing something in your business that you're not liking, one of the things that you can ask yourself is, okay, what am I valuing here more than what it is that I desire? And then we can just really look at our values and say, you know what, I desire freedom more then I desire, let's say, money. Okay. Money has to be a top value. If you're going to create wealth and impact, it needs to be in your top three. If money, wealth, or prosperity isn't in your top 10, it's going to be fairly difficult to make decisions that attract and create wealth into your life. But if freedom is more important than money, then you make decisions from that freedom. However, if you have a story that you're creating a streamlined business and a belief that that streamlined business is going to bring in wealth, it's going to be a product of that. But what happens is you're making your decisions from the perspective of creating a streamlined business as opposed to creating a business strictly for the money. Because I've seen people who have done that and they end up with this need and this push to create the finances, and they build a business that they actually feel trapped in.
Yeah, absolutely. Penny, I love value alignment and in order to make the right decisions, because that keeps us so focused and so intentional in our entrepreneurship journey. I love everything you shared with your talk today. I appreciate you as well. Penny, where is it that people can continue this conversation with you?
Yeah, I'm over on Instagram at penny.chason. I have a Facebook group, Optimize to Thrive, and we're growing a YouTube channel right now.
All right, beautiful. Thank you so much, Penny.
Thank you.
I'll be bringing on my next speaker to the stage, Tonia Rebhan. Oh, I didn't say it at the beginning. I have a talent for butchering names. So, Tonia, I hope I said your last name correctly. Welcome to our summit and welcome to the stage.
Thank you. And my name is a tough one. Trust me, it doesn't sound like it looks, so everybody butchers it. My name is Tonia Rebhan, and I am a certified hypnotherapist. I'm certified in neurolinguistic programming and also certified in holistic nutrition. I am a best-selling author, international author in 10 categories as of a couple of months ago. My book is The Real Pandemic. And so how I got started on my journey for coaching is I had experienced some major trauma. I used to be married to a very abusive husband, and going through that journey was very rough. And then I had also, after going through that, went through some major health issues. I have a rare disease. And through the trauma I was facing, I had to go through some counseling and found that counseling was not really taking care of all of the mental health issues I was experiencing. So I kind of went out on my own self-help journey and started studying a whole bunch on health and neuroscience. And I was studying all the greats like Bruce Lipton and Joe Dispenza, Bob Hoffman, Dr. Demartini, Bob Proctor. And through that journey is where I started doing some therapy with hypnotherapy and NLP, and found that that was making a drastic difference in my life and helping me way more than what conventional therapy was helping me. So that inspired me to want to be able to help others in the same way I was getting help. So that's when I decided to get certified in those practices. I wanted to be able to help other people who had experienced the same things that I was going through. Through my journey, I had learned many things, like that our subconscious mind is way more powerful than what our conscious mind is. We actually operate from only about 5% of our conscious mind every day, and about 95% of our subconscious runs us daily. And in our first 7 years of our life, we are operating in what would be kind of a hypnotic state, or what we call like a delta and theta brainwave frequency, where we are basically absorbing everything. Our brain is in a more suggestive state. So everything that's going on in our environment around us, we're taking in, and that's what we end up forming our beliefs and perceptions for our whole life from. So you can imagine that if we have family that is around us or other influences in that first 7 years of life, our beliefs and perceptions are going to be formed off of them people. And if they maybe don't have the best beliefs or perceptions, a lot of times then we will get false or a lot of disempowering beliefs that will form the rest of our lives and how we think and what we do. So this is where a lot of people run into many issues later in their life. And the way we need to fix them is to change our subconscious thoughts. And typically there's three main ways that you can do that. And that's through hypnosis. Hypnosis is able to put you back into those frequencies that you were into, like when you were a child, when you get in that trance state. So you can get into a suggestive brainwave pattern again. And also a second way is through lots of repetitions or practice, like through affirmations, subliminals, and also through different energy work modalities like neurolinguistic programming, EMDR, or tapping. There's a method out there called the Silva technique. That's another way. But there's basically for entrepreneurs, mindset is a huge factor. When you are going into your own business, if you're not being successful, a lot of times you have to look at, okay, is it a mindset issue? And when you're growing up, did you have people around you that maybe gave you some disempowering beliefs about yourself? Maybe that you weren't smart enough, weren't good enough, or maybe it might be about money. Maybe you think that you're only worth so much or can only get to a certain set point financially, and that's all the further you can go. Them kind of thoughts you might need to evaluate. And if you have them kind of disempowering belief systems, then that's where like work with hypnotherapy or some other subconscious work might be able to help you out to further yourself in your own entrepreneurial experience. My book is kind of where I started out with my business through some consultation with some other entrepreneurs. They said that was a good way to start out to gain credibility in a field that you're new to, since there's a sea of other people out there. And so that was the route I took in starting my experience. And from there, then I hired some other coaches with marketing and started up a website. And that's where I've gone from here.
Yeah, love that, Tony. I love your personal story, but also our shared passion for neuroscience. We all know that there's so much more to our mind that we know, and it's the operating system to everything else in our life. So really understanding how that works and how to use it in, as an entrepreneur or as a business owner is, it's gold mine. It's gold mine. So I appreciate everything that you share with us today. Where is it that people can continue the conversation with you?
Yeah, my website is chainbreakersmindsetcoaching.com. I do have where you can sign up with your email there and get a free ebook. And otherwise, you can just look around. I have free consultations on there you can sign up for. And I do have some digital programs, and I do one-on-one coaching.
All right. Beautiful work and very, very important work. Thank you so much, Tonya.
Thank you.
All right. I'm bringing on my other amazing speaker, Sherry Dixon. And Sherry will also share with us whatever she chose that she thinks is her message that she wants us to hear. Sherry, you have the stage.
Well, thank you. And thank you for having me with you all today. I'm Sherry Dixon, and my business is A Girl and Her Dog Coaching and Consulting. And there's a whole long story behind that, but my dog kind of is my therapy dog, and couldn't do life without him. So that's how that all came upon. But today I want to talk to you about something a little bit different. So I'm a newbie in the business world, and just kind of getting started while still having a full-time job. And I believe the biggest pivot in my whole time would be that I said yes. And so, having said that, I am going to get us started. So my journey started about 50 years ago. I was the product of two teenage parents, and I knew that that was going to always be a challenge because my parents, they hadn't gone to high school. I mean, they went to high school, but they hadn't graduated high school, and they had not gone to college. And we were in a very small town in Iowa, and I didn't know a lot about playing big. And for the most part, I just always felt like I just had to fit in. And as I grew up and became a teenager and started to get to the point that I was finishing high school, I found myself becoming a teenage mother as well. And at that point in my life, I decided that I wasn't going to continue to play small. I now had a beautiful baby girl that was relying on me, and she definitely needed me to be the strong woman that I could be. And so fast forward a few years after that, I finished college. I became a teacher because teachers were always superheroes to me. And for the last 28 years, I've been in public education. I'm currently an elementary principal. But about 2 years ago, when I was turning 50, I had a very close friend that had a pretty major tragedy in her life. Her husband died unexpectedly. And it just really put life into perspective for me, because I had gone through several different changes in my own life. At 40, I found myself divorced, being a single mom at the time, questioning everything that I had been doing in my whole life because I had never lived by myself. And so I just threw myself into my work. And when you're in public education, you do dedicate a lot of your time to that work if you're going to do it well. And I always take on challenging schools so that I can help fix them and help to make sure that all of the students at that school, all of the staff at that school can be their very, very best. But at this point in my life, after hearing about my friend's husband, I just really felt like I had not been taking care of me. I had not been making all of my goals and dreams happen. As a matter of fact, I can count on one hand how many times I took a vacation in my entire life. I can count on one hand how many times I would leave the schoolhouse to go take care of my daughter or to take care of my family, because that always came first. And I just thought, if I'm designing a life that I'm going to live on my own terms, I want to be able to have some freedoms in life. Now, not that pivoting into the coaching and consulting world means freedom, because I know it's very hard work and very challenging, but I also knew that it would let me design my schedule and have a little flexibility in my own life. So in February of 2022, I decided to become a life coach. And after that, I was able to launch my very first program. And that was last year in May. And I got one client. Yay, one client. I was so excited with myself, which sounds like not a big deal. But when you live in public education and everything, everybody just comes to you because you're the schoolhouse. You don't have the experience of marketing. You don't really have the experience of selling. You're just there, and they want to be part of that entity because it is what it is. And so moving in this direction where I secured my first client, I just felt like, okay, maybe this is something I can do. And I always say that competence breeds confidence. And so I started to believe like, maybe I'm going to be able to make something like this happen. And I remembered way back in the day when I was starting college and having all the challenges that were presented to me in my life, I promised myself that I would always say yes. I would say yes to things that matched my vision, my goals, and my values. And starting in June of 2022, I just started once again saying yes. And what did that do for me? Well, I have now been a co-author in an international best-selling book, Unleash Her. I've had opportunities to collaborate with other amazing women, just like today, but in some other summits and collaborations that have come upon me. I've been able to network with some amazing people. I've been able to learn so many amazing things. And most recently, I said yes to a big project, which is I just started my own talk show on Phoenix TV, which is a live online streaming service that's new, and will be landing on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV somewhere around June of 2023. So I stepped out of my comfort zone, scared, never knew what was going to be the next step, doing something completely out of the box from public education. But knowing that I had the courage to say yes, I think has made the biggest difference. And so ladies out there, men, whoever's watching this, be good to yourself. You're worth it, and say yes. If it aligns with what you want in life, say yes, because you can never go wrong with that.
Sherry, you're so inspirational, and welcome to entrepreneurship. And good for you for staying committed and saying yes and holding on through those early beginnings. I think we can all vouch, a lot of us, where you're like, is this for me? You know, there's so much doubt. There's so much uncertainty. There's so much going back to safety, getting my 9 to 5. I remember those early days, and every day I wanted to quit because I'm like, I don't know if what I'm doing is the right thing, right? And kudos for you for getting that first client. I always say it's a big deal because you just now impacted one person and you don't know the effect of that person throughout their personal lives. I also build my business one client at a time, and I think we all do that. We build our audiences one person at a time. I showed up on my live and it was only my sister. Then, another potential person that I could help, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's how it's done. So kudos to you. Where is it that people can continue the conversation with you?
Thank you so much. It is scary, but it is very exciting as well. So you can find me at findagirlandherdog.com, which is my website. And I do apologize for the noise. They're mowing the neighbor's grass. So I live in Houston. It's a nice day. But nonetheless, you can find me at my website. As I said, findagirlandherdog.com. There are links to my book. There are links to my programs. I do offer free coaching to get started on our journey to make sure we're a good fit. I have a podcast, Strong Inside and Out, that is also on Spotify and Apple. And you can find me on Facebook as well. So
beautiful. Well, keep shining, Sherry. Love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You have all of our support and energy. We highly appreciate this, and I can't wait for all the important impact you're going to create in the world, and you're already doing it. So beautiful. I will bring my next speaker on stage, Erlinda Vo. Erlinda, thank you so much for being here, and can't wait to get to know you a little bit better.
Perfect. Hi, everyone. I'm Erlinda Vo, the energy alchemist, and I'm all about transforming bad vibes into good ones. And I want to just, first of all, stop and just say thank you so much for creating this to make a difference and impact. I love that for you, legacy is about impact. So, because I'm all about impact as well. My mission is to vibe up the planet. And I do that with energy work and frequencies and sound frequencies. And it's all about, transforming the bad vibes into good vibes. Okay. And when I asked you about the topic, and I really got creating legacy impact, I had to stop for a moment, because legacy was kind of this far thing. Like, okay, legacy, that's like way after I'm gone, right? And so I had to look, and I realized that if you want to create a legacy, you got to figure out which type of legacy you want to create. Okay. And the first type is the amount of money or property you will kind of leave, okay, for someone or a community or whatnot, right? Or the second type of legacy too is the long lasting impact of a particular event. And in our cases, who are on here, or people who are near to us, are wanting to start businesses to leave that long lasting impact in a particular subject or event or expertise that we have. Okay. And as you notice, I started off with just being profoundly grateful. Okay. Because gratitude is such an important factor in changing your frequency and up leveling your frequency. It is so great to be able to be so positive. And I'm not talking about just like, oh, I'm so grateful for the sun and I'm grateful for this. I'm like, no, I'm so grateful. Can you experience that gratitude in your whole being? Okay. So for step one, if you want to leave a legacy, you got to know which kind of legacy are you trying to do. Now they can go both. You can have both legacy. You can have a major impact, and you can have the monetary impact on that as well. Okay. It's not like one or the other, but you got to figure out, where do you want to go? Is it that you want to create a business that will actually leave a legacy, not only a mission like mine is to vibe up the planet, right? And you can leave a legacy in that component and capacity, or you can leave financial legacy as well, right? So you first want to identify, what do you want to leave after you're gone? What is the hand me down? What do you want to leave as your legacy, as your mark? Okay. So the second step, I really wanted this to be a short and sweet thing to really kind of give you a place to stand, a place to look. And as you want to know, if you want to create a legacy, you got to know which kind you want, right? The second part is, where are you? Okay. Sometimes it's not appropriate to go and focus on creating a legacy. Sometimes you have despair. Okay. Like, especially in the last couple of years with the pandemic, there's been some people who have had despair, had to uproot their life and change. And that might not be the space that you can actually create your legacy. Okay. So notice where you are. And then some people are in survival, like just trying to make it. Okay. It doesn't, and despair and survival doesn't mean you can't dream of leaving a legacy. Okay. But you have to be present in the moments and really deal with the energy of the current state. If you can deal with the energy of the current state, you can then vision and move forward. Okay. And I know that a lot of people are like, oh, I did it, you could do it too. But really, sometimes it's just starting with the basics. Okay. Secondly, you really want to, the next level is like, you are content, you're like good. And that's a really great space to start to create, oh, where am I going? Right? If you want to go create a legacy, you have to know where you're starting from. And being content is another space that you could be in to be able to create your legacy. Okay. And if you want to identify your mission, being content in your house, like being content and happy where you live, in your environment, in your family life, having contentment is a really great state to be in. Okay. And then there's the state of thriving. And if you're a business owner or you're creating that, there's an opportunity and a moment in your business when you start to thrive. Okay. That's an extremely, extremely great, energetic moment. Okay. Listen, we've all been in different places. I went through a horrible divorce, narcissistic gaslighting, where like this bright, happy face was not here. Okay. I've been content. I've been super thriving. I've been all over the place. Okay. And as the energy alchemist, I'm all about dealing with your emotional footprint. Okay. Because what you bring to the world elevates and it ripples out to the world. Okay. So when you're thriving, you can then have the peace of mind to focus on, oh my gosh, what is the legacy impact I want to make? Okay. So you got to know where you're going. You got to know where you're starting from. Okay. I help people just elevate their energy. I help you get soul alignment and elevate your energy to the next level. And that's what I do. And you can find me at the Spa for Your Soul, which is a spiritual wellness boutique. And I'm also have a Facebook group, and I offer tons and tons of products and different things. I just love vibing up the planet. That's my mission. Even if it's just one person at a time, it's like, how can we alter your frequency so you can attract what you want in your life? So thank you for having me. I'm going to have to drop really soon, but I am so proud of each of you, and I'm so proud of myself, and just thank you. That's it.
Erlinda, you are absolutely the energy alchemist. We need one of you on our day-to-day. I love your energy, and everything is energy in our life and business. I mean, that's what attracts the right people towards us. And when you do something you love and you're passionate about it, it's just natural. It just comes through and it radiates. That's why it's important to be authentic in our journey and build our authentic businesses that speak to us. And I love all your definitions of legacy. I think it's the same with purpose. It's whatever that means to you at your phase and stage of life, right? No comparison, no need to feel bad. As you are building and growing and evolving, always shoot for the next right thing that you feel is part of your vision. So I think that's really, really important. Thank you so much. All right, beautiful. Now I'm going to my other speaker, Nikki Dvorak. Nikki, you have the stage. Looking forward to getting to know you a little bit better.
Hi, everybody. And you did. Oops.
Here we go. Nikki, you're on.
Hi there. Thank you. And you said my name perfectly. Thank you very much. As Ilona said, my name is Nikki Dvorak. I am an Australian living in Spain, and I won't go into the long-winded story that got me here by a lot of different places, but I just wanted to say I'm so honored to be here. I'm listening to all of you women speak, and you're so inspiring. So I feel very privileged and honored to be in your company today. A little bit just about my story to get started. When I was in my early 40s, about 10 years ago now, I hit a total wall in life. The wall felt so big and impenetrable. I didn't know how to get around it, over it, under it. I didn't know how to move it and move forward from there. At my lowest point, I think that my self-esteem turned to something of self-loathing. The negative voices in my head were shouting. They felt on full volume. I felt really angry and disappointed at that the life I'd created and all the markers of success I was told to go after just didn't satisfy me anymore. A fire that I had inside had gone out. And I got to a point of life of feeling like a total fraud, that I'd been people pleasing all my life and wearing so many masks that I didn't know who I was anymore. And I remember waking up one morning really, really clearly, and the image I have in my head from that time is feeling that I was at the bottom of what felt like a deep, dark tunnel, and somewhere up here was a ring of light. And I made a decision in that moment that I couldn't fall any lower, that no matter what it took, I needed to claw myself out of there and make changes in my life. And I'm grateful for that point in hindsight, because that I see it was my real point and the beginning of my transformation. Without breaking and getting to that point, I wouldn't have started the journey that's led me to exactly where I am now. And I wouldn't change that. I'm very grateful to be where I am in life right now. I help, led me on the journey to do what I do as well. And I help ambitious, outwardly successful women who feel unfulfilled and happy on the inside to discover that purpose and fulfillment they're missing, to create breakthroughs in every area of that life. Now, I use a couple of different vehicles to get us there. Like Tonya and Penny, I also work with hypnotherapy, specifically a modality of hypnotherapy called rapid transformational therapy. I liken it to being a super hypnotherapy. It combines the best of neurolinguistic programming, cognitive behavioral therapy, psychotherapy. It's very, very deep. And I went to study it because at that low point in my life, I tried a lot of different things. And I had a session with someone of RTT. I had it online. This is before COVID, and we got used to doing things on Zoom. And I was very, very skeptical as to how that could work non-presential. And it blew me away. It started huge changes in my life, so much so that I went on to train and decided that I wanted to help and heal people in the same way that it had really helped me. I combine RTT with empowerment coaching, and I'm almost finished my qualification in tapping, EFT, emotional freedom technique. I feel that it's a really good addition to what I do. I combine them both because through the hypnotherapy, as Tonya and Penny touched on, it's such a powerful tool to connect to that 95% of us that is our subconscious. You know, everything is stored inside of us, everything we've smelt, tasted, heard, everything that's happened to us. So I strongly believe that we can't make real changes inside without understanding why what we do exists in the first place. Why do we have the limiting beliefs, behaviors, actions? Why do we lack confidence? Why do we maybe have addictive behaviors? Why do we feel how we feel? And in the hypnotherapy we do a minimum of 3 regressions, which makes us understand where this comes from. And that understanding is key because sure, we can't change what happened, but no matter what it is, an anxiety, a trauma, whatever it is that's happened in our life that's replaying over again, that's imprinted our blueprint, we have the power to change the belief that we attach to it. And that's really key. Because if we think even about the term limiting belief, it's exactly that. It's a belief, which means it's not a fact. And the fact that it's a belief and not a fact means that we can then change it. And that's what we set about doing through a repetitive process, through bespoke recordings that we listen to. Now, it's not all juju woo-woo, it's science, because we have the power, as I'm sure a lot of you know, to rewire our minds. Our minds are neuroplasticity, and we can make changes that become impactful and lifelong. So by doing that and empowering with coaching, we can align who we are inside with the us that the world sees on the outside.
Love that, Nikki. More, very important work. And I love that you said that. For the longest, I thought it was woo-woo stuff, right? But now science is catching up with all this. So it is so important to really understand that. So love everything that you shared with us today. Where is it that people can continue the conversation with you, Nikki?
Yep. My business name is Reboot Transformations with an S. That's also my website, reboottransformations.com. Socials, Nikki Esther Vorak is Facebook and LinkedIn. Instagram is Nikki _reboot _transformations. All of those links and also your link to book in a free introduction call are all on my website, as is my book. It's more nutrition and health and creating goodness from the inside. Reboottransformations.com. I would love to chat and hear your story.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you as well. Awesome. I'm going to my next 2 speakers. I'm very good with timing usually because I really value everyone's time. We'll go in a little 10 minutes over for our next 2 amazing speakers. So I understand for those of you that can't stay for some other commitment. But of course, we will continue with the other 2 speakers as well. And you will find everyone in the Facebook group Life School to connect with anyway. So that will be another way that you can nurture relationships. And that's what I would definitely suggest as a good next step to this conversation always. So my next speaker is going to be Megan Callis. Megan, welcome to our summit. Looking forward to getting to know you a little bit better.
Hello, and thank you so much. I am honored to be among all these amazing women. And what I love is that each one of you offers something unique, yet there's this common ground of becoming present and becoming whole and healthy within your body and your minds, which I think is such a critical component of all the work that everybody here is doing. So a little bit about me and my story and how hopefully I can help you all who are listening and watching. My name, obviously, Megan Callis. My company is called Boundless Breath New Jersey. And since 2018, I actually, due to my own medical issue, started studying applied neuroscience. So for about 3 years, I got involved in a curriculum to really dive deep into the brain, the different areas of the brain, neural pathways, etc., and got into work really doing sort of neurorehabilitation with people. And then, of course, COVID hit. And when COVID hit, all of our lives changed. And with me, because I'm a little bit of a nerd, I love science, I really got into focusing on respiration and started studying different breathing techniques and how they impacted our brain, and combined the neuroscience that is so brand new and so exciting and so validating for the energy work that everyone is doing. And so combine that with, as I said, breathing practices. So what I do, and I want to give you, I'm going to go a little bit into the science here. Bear with me. I can't help myself. I want to talk a little bit about our brain and breath and how it can help entrepreneurs and particularly the professional women out there who are trying to, who are juggling so much. So, all right. So real quick, your brain broken into 2 sections. Predominantly, you got this autonomic system. That's okay, what's happening with your spleen and your blood vessels, you don't have much control over that. Then you've got your voluntary system, and so that's me talking right now, moving my hands, I'm telling myself to do that. Those are sort of your muscles, things like that. Now going back to that involuntary system, that's broken into 2 additional sections. Most of us know this, but I'll go through it quickly. You have your parasympathetic system, that's your rest, digest, heal state, and you have your sympathetic system, that's your fight, flight, freeze state. Now there's more to it. Some include the enteric system. I'm just going to focus on these 2 right now. Now going back into that nervous system, parasympathetic and sympathetic, believe it or not, how you're breathing can bring you into one versus the other. So most of us breathe pretty fast, and a lot of us pause our breath, especially while we're working. And so when we do that, it's actually telling our brain that we are in danger. And so we're shunting some oxygen and blood to the brain. We can't think as clearly. We're more anxious. We're more stressed out. We get tired and burnt out. And so just simply changing how you're breathing, whether you're doing it through formal practices or informal, like just before I spoke, I was doing a couple breathing techniques just to calm my system down so I could be more focused and present to you all. So I'm going to guide you through 2 of those systems right now, just so you can walk away with some tools, because I think it's really important in our business. We can, as I said, we're torn. We got our kids, we've got our homes, we've got potential partners. We have all these things pulling us in different directions, and we can get really frantic and frenetic. And how we present to the world and to our clients and to the people we love makes a difference. And we can do that by just settling in and pausing for just a few breaths. So the one I'm going to teach you, 2 of the ones I'm actually going to teach you right now, one is called the physiological sigh. Now, the physiological sigh has been really well studied by a neurobiologist out in Stanford. His name is Andrew Huberman. I really highly recommend checking him out. He has a lot of YouTube videos. Now, the physiological sigh is one where you're breathing in through your nose. Deep breath, fill your lungs, get to the top of that breath, pause for a second, and then breathe in again. That second breath is going to be a little tricky, but try to do it anyway. And then a long exhale through the mouth. Let's do that 2 more times together. So breathe in through your nose, fill that lung. Breathe in again. Long exhale through the mouth. And one more time, breathe in through the nose. Again, long exhale through the mouth. And by doing that, believe it or not, you're actually going to reduce your heart rate. And it's something you can do really fast in the moment. No one knows you're doing it. And you're going to just calm your nervous system. Another one that I personally love, it's my favorite, is just simply breathing in through your nose and then pursing your lips like you're breathing through a straw. So pucker up and then breathe out. And what that does is it extends your exhale. And when you extend your exhale, you build up carbon dioxide. And when you get increased arterial carbon dioxide, it actually helps you move into that more parasympathetic rest state. So these breathing exercises, super simple and something you can do to become more present, more focused, and be able to do the work that you have at hand. So again, thank you so much for this opportunity just to share a little bit with you. I feel very honored to be with such an amazing group of women. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Megan. I'm a pragmatist myself, so love the practical touch, and it definitely, it works. And it's, our breath is right here. It's sometimes, because we have so many things, decision fatigue, we're kind of moving fast, we kind of cope with it negatively, with other things. So using our breath is so powerful, and I think you just kind of demonstrated that with us today. Where is it that people can continue the beautiful conversation with you as well, Megan?
So you can go to my website, which is about to shift. Right now it's kind of very basic. That's boundlessbreathnj.com. In about a month, you're going to get a whole new website with all the science behind all of this and how it can help you. And then you can just go to my Facebook page. I always provide, little tips and techniques to move through your day in that state of presence. And that's just my name, Megan Callus, Callus, like the things you get on your hands and your feet.
All right. Thanks so much, beautiful Megan. Thanks so much for sharing that. My last but not least speaker, Marcy, beautiful Marcy Amaro. Marcy has been in our summits before, so I can't wait to have her share her message with you today. Marcy, welcome, and you have the stage.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. It has been a little, hopefully it make us look badly at this last minute. I am Marcy Amaro, and self-leadership coach. What that means is I help in time and leverage yourself, your talents, your abilities, and mostly your messaging. Now here, I'm called into my guidance counselor's office, and she proceeded to tell me all the ways in which I was a horrible human being. She told me I was perceived as arrogant, that I made the people around me feel that I didn't collaborate with others, and that I was an all-around. I left that meeting feeling like the smallest, worst person on the planet. But hindsight is 2020, right? It was one of the greatest gifts I ever received, because meeting forced me to make the decision to myself be heard, to make myself invisible. Also led a quest on how being perceived that way. Did I do that in that manner that was less than favorable? And how could I help others connect better with each other and with themselves? And that's what journey, like Sherry, I was a teacher for 25 years, so a long time in the classroom. And that was my test, my lab. And I realized that, especially when we're talking about legacy, the things that we experience, that we learn throughout, and the things that are allowed to live through, and the things that we bring to ourselves, they lead us to creating a message that is unique and that is powerful, but that it is also a huge part of the legacy we get to share with the rest of the world. So when we're looking at business, one of the big things that we tend to look for is how do we differentiate ourselves, right? And that has a million different names in the business world, like your USP or your different, your blue ocean. That's what a lot of you are going to resonate with this. Your differentiating factor, your story, is the experience you bring in and that you bring into your experiences with others. Those things that you have, things you've been through, that allow you to create. You do, in fact, have something to bring that nobody else can. The good, the bad, the ugly, right? So the first thing that we look at when we're looking at our legacy is how does our messaging, when we stop allowing ourselves to be silenced by outside circumstances, when we start learning the value of our own voices and using them, the very first thing that it will bring is this uniqueness factor, this differentiating element that allows us to be separated from others and at the same time be relatable. That allows us to stand out in a positive way without looking like we feel like we're better than others. On the contrary, we understand where they're coming from, and we become this relatable, amazing person that, because we can, both how our experiences have helped us learn and move forward, and how we can relate to others and help them do the same, right? There's also this element of shortening the learning curve for others. When we have been through experiences and we learn how to communicate them effectively, when we hone in and own our messaging, then we can help others who are going through similar situations or through things that we've already experienced. We can shorten their learning curve, and we can help them emerge victorious at the other side faster because we have already walked that path, and we can help them cross that bridge faster. And then finally, learning how to voice who we are and share our experience in the most powerful and effective way helps us be empowered to help others. Ultimately, our messaging is about transformation. When you think about the influencer culture and everything that is going on in social media, in the news, and just our spaces around us, we are influenced by so many things, but there are different levels in which that influence operates, right? The most basic informational influence, or influence, where people just want something out of the experience. But when we can move into inspiration, we can just tap into what is inside of them. They have recognized the power value that is in their voice, in the things that they've gone through, in the lessons that they've learned in their lives, then we can help them move into a place of leveraging and finding and honing in what is unique to them as well. So our legacy gets to be opening up our voices so that others feel empowered. It's a platform Luna did with us today. Share with and others through the experiences that we've had. Again, the good, the bad, and the ugly. If we think about the panelists today, most of us have some sort of negative experience that brought us to the place where we are today. And it is in using those lessons that us propel forward.
Thank you so much, Marcy. I love that. I love you share so much wisdom, and the way you also adapted that to legacy and using our voice. I feel as women, we, our voice is the most powerful way that we can kind of, share our experience, share our knowledge, share our wisdom, expertise with other people in the impact that we want to make. So it's really powerful to own that voice, especially with all these new channels. And sometimes it's nerve-wracking, but when you think of the person you're serving, you come out of yourself and you go into service and you forget about that. And you use your voice as that channel. You use yourself as that channel to really reach that person that you feel you will make an impact with it. I love it. So powerful. Marcy, where is it that people can continue the conversation with you as well?
My website and all my socials are my name. So MARCY AMAR Amaro, and I look forward to connecting with you. I offer free clarity and planning, path paving calls that are available on my website. And then I'm on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and TikTok.
All right. So many ways to find Marcy, and I'm sure you create such service-oriented content, and that's where people can go check you out as well. Well, there you have it. We've reached the end. We're 16 minutes in, a little over our time. I think for the next summit, I'm going to plan around 90 minutes just to make sure that everybody, gets their time to really share, because there's so much wisdom in this room. I mean, oh my gosh. So I want to thank all my beautiful speakers. And I always say with every place that we go and share our message, the golden opportunity is in building relationships. So definitely reach out, connect with one another. Let this be the first point of contact for some of you, and definitely nurture your relationships for future beautiful opportunities. That's where the name of the game is. Relationships are just like money in the bank. So eventually they will always translate into impact and income. So before I wrap up and let you all go from this beautiful summit, I want to let you know that I am creating another bigger summit. I love stages. I love places where people can come in and do just like what we did here. It's going to be on April 6th. and we're going to have 2 hours of amazing inspiration. I have 20 speakers that day, so we will time keep to make sure everybody is going to share their beautiful message to make the legacy impact that they're looking for. So it's called Creating Legacy Impact. I also love writing books. It's my next legacy products. I'm an author to a couple of them, so we will be launching a book as well with all the amazing speakers that are going to be speaking in that summit, and the book is going to come out end of August. And we also will be featuring your work in an article in our global magazine. All opportunities to reach people, to navigate, and to make an expansion with our work. So let me know if you would like to participate in that as well. And I wish you a beautiful rest of your Thursday, and I'll see you in other summits. Bye, everybody.